In just the next 60 seconds, you will learn a truth that could save your life. More than 805,000 Americans suffer a heart attack every year, and every 40 seconds, another person suddenly collapses. A large portion of them had no clear warning signs beforehand. The question is, if there were a simple, natural, easy-to-do method at home that could help clean your arteries, reduce inflammation, and protect your heart every single day, would you want to know about it right now? If just one glass of water each morning could lower your risk of dying from a heart attack or stroke, would you be ready to take action? In this video, I will take you through the real causes of artery blockages, why they can silently lead to death, and how your body can heal itself when supported the right way. This is not casual advice or a product you need to buy, but the truth you must understand if you want to live long and stay healthy after age 60. Pay close attention, because every minute could be your last if you ignore this. The human body is a remarkable and complex system, but if even one major artery becomes blocked, everything can collapse within minutes. After age 60, the risk of heart attack and stroke rises sharply, not because of time itself, but because of silent habits that build up over the years. Too much sugar, too little activity, ongoing stress, poor sleep, and most importantly, a lack of accurate knowledge about heart health. The worst part is that most early symptoms are misunderstood, ignored, or dismissed as just ordinary fatigue. In this video, you will gain more than a simple formula that supports artery cleansing and circulation. You will receive a clear map to understand what is truly happening inside your body. We will break down each factor that contributes to blocked arteries, show how the early warning signs of a heart attack or stroke often go unnoticed, and finally, reveal the choices you can make today right at home without prescriptions or expensive equipment, just determination and the right action. Start today, not out of fear, but because you still have so much to live for, to love, and to enjoy. Causes and process of artery blockage. Imagine the arteries in your body as a complex system of pipelines carrying oxygen-rich blood and nutrients to every single cell. When that system runs smoothly, your heart, brain, lungs, liver, and other organs are nourished properly. But once plaque begins to build up inside the artery walls, blood can no longer flow freely. That is when danger begins to take shape. Plaque is a mixture of bad cholesterol, LDL, calcium, dead cells, and microscopic waste. It develops from many factors, such as a diet high in refined sugars, industrial oils, processed foods, smoking, chronic stress, and lack of exercise. At first, this process is silent, with no obvious symptoms. But over time, the plaque grows larger, narrows the blood vessels, and restricts circulation. An often overlooked factor is vascular inflammation. Inflammation does not just happen when you are injured or infected. It also occurs inside arteries when the vessel lining is damaged by high blood sugar, high blood pressure, or toxins in the blood. When inflammation happens, your body sends white blood cells and immune molecules to repair the site. Unfortunately, this also attracts more LDL cholesterol to stick to the injured area. As the cycle of inflammation repeats, the plaque becomes thicker, harder, and more unstable. When a plaque cracks or ruptures, the body reacts as if it were a wound. Platelets rush in and form a clot. If that clot completely blocks blood flow to an area of the body, a heart attack or stroke strikes. Think of blood flow as a river and plaque as a dam. When water can't pass through, pressure builds up behind the dam. If it bursts, water floods downstream and causes severe damage. The same thing happens when a plaque ruptures and a blood clot suddenly forms. Depending on where the artery is blocked, the result may be a heart attack, a stroke, or a pulmonary embolism. Risk factors that drive plaque formation include obesity, inactivity, smoking, heavy alcohol use, chronic stress, poor sleep, and especially a diet rich in refined carbohydrates. Among these, sugar is the most dangerous culprit because it triggers strong inflammation, raises insulin levels, increases visceral fat, and disrupts lipid metabolism. Another critical marker is triglycerides. High triglycerides, often paired with low HDL, are a clear sign of metabolic syndrome and high risk of artery blockage. When insulin resistance develops, visceral fat builds up around the heart, liver, and aorta. This type of fat is highly inflammatory and often invisible until it is too late. No one suffers a heart attack or stroke suddenly. These events are the end result of decades of poor food choices, harmful habits, and a lack of knowledge. Only when you understand how plaque develops and the underlying causes behind it can you take the right steps to stop this deadly process. The journey to keeping arteries clean and blood flowing smoothly does not start with medication or surgery. It begins with knowledge and daily action. In the next part, you will discover a simple yet powerful natural formula that can support artery cleansing and reduce the risk of dangerous blockages, if used consistently and correctly. 1 glass a day for a stronger heart. When you hear the phrase cleaning the arteries, you might immediately think of prescription drugs, surgery, or complicated medical procedures. But in reality, research and clinical evidence show that the human body has a powerful ability to heal itself when given the right support. One of the simplest, most effective, and natural ways to do this is through daily proactive nutrition. The solution I want to share with you today is not a baseless folk remedy, but a formula built from ingredients that have been scientifically proven to reduce inflammation, lower bad cholesterol, improve blood circulation, and protect the artery walls. With just 1 glass each morning, you are giving your body the opportunity to begin an internal cleanup process in your circulatory system. The first ingredient is raw apple cider vinegar. It contains acetic acid and enzymes that help regulate blood sugar, lower triglycerides and LDL cholesterol, and support digestion. It also assists with weight control, which is a critical factor in preventing heart disease. 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar per day is a safe and effective dose. The second ingredient is turmeric powder, the golden spice often called the anti-inflammatory powerhouse. Its main active compound, curcumin, has been shown to reduce systemic inflammation, prevent the oxidation of LDL, and protect the vascular endothelium. However, curcumin is poorly absorbed on its own. That is why you should add a pinch of black pepper, which contains piperine. Piperine can boost curcumin absorption by up to 2,000%. The third ingredient is cayenne pepper. This spice contains capsaicin, which helps relax blood vessels, stimulate circulation, and reduce blood fat levels. Capsaicin also helps regulate blood pressure and promotes the burning of excess fat, lowering visceral fat buildup. Just 1 small teaspoon of cayenne pepper is enough, and you can adjust the dose if you are not used to it. Finally, no formula would be complete without raw honey. Beyond adding natural sweetness, honey contains powerful antioxidants, antibacterial, and anti-inflammatory compounds. It protects blood vessels from free radical damage while also supporting the immune system. 1 tablespoon of raw honey in the morning can also help stabilize energy throughout the day. The last ingredient is fresh lemon juice. Lemons are rich in vitamin C, citric acid, and antioxidants. They help detoxify the body, support liver function, and most importantly, cleanse the arterial walls. Research has shown that vitamin C in lemon can lower blood pressure and reduce the risk of stroke in older adults. Half a lemon, freshly squeezed, is the ideal amount. Preparing this formula is very simple. Start with a warm glass of water, about 240 to 300 milliliters. First, add 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. Then mix in 1 teaspoon of turmeric powder, a pinch of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, 1 tablespoon of raw honey, and finally, squeeze in half a lemon. Stir well until everything is blended. Warm water helps the ingredients dissolve better, especially turmeric and cayenne. If you are new to this, begin with the lowest dose to see how your body reacts, particularly if you have underlying conditions or are taking medications. Some people may experience mild stomach irritation, so it is best to drink it after a light meal or at least after a glass of plain water. Most importantly, if you are taking blood thinners or high-dose aspirin, consult your doctor first, as turmeric and cayenne pepper may enhance blood-thinning effects. Making this drink a daily habit is a powerful step in protecting both your heart and brain. There is no overnight miracle, but consistency is what creates real change. Within a few weeks, you may notice less bloating, better circulation, deeper sleep, and more steady energy. After a few months, if combined with a healthy diet and light exercise, you may see improvements in lab results such as cholesterol, triglycerides, and blood pressure. What makes this formula valuable is its simplicity and accessibility. It does not rely on brands, special supplements, or expensive products. Every ingredient is common, affordable, and safe when used correctly. This is a functional nutrition approach. It does not replace prescribed medication, but it can strongly support your body in slowing down or even partially reversing the progression of coronary artery disease, atherosclerosis, and other circulatory issues. Remember, one glass each morning is the smallest investment you can make for your heart. Your body does not need complicated solutions. It only needs you to act consistently, and that action can begin with preparing this simple drink every morning. A heart attack: what really happens and why time matters. A heart attack, also called a myocardial infarction, occurs when oxygen-rich blood cannot reach part of the heart muscle. Within just minutes of oxygen deprivation, heart cells begin to die. If treatment is delayed, the damage becomes permanent, leaving scar tissue that weakens the heart's ability to pump. In many cases, this is the direct cause of sudden death. The most common cause of a heart attack is blockage in the coronary arteries, the vessels that supply blood to the heart. This blockage is usually the result of plaque buildup over years inside the arterial walls, as discussed earlier. When a plaque ruptures, a blood clot forms at the site and blocks blood flow, causing part of the heart muscle to become severely deprived of oxygen. One of the most dangerous misconceptions is believing that heart attacks always strike suddenly and dramatically, like the image in movies of someone clutching their chest and collapsing. In reality, many heart attacks begin quietly, with subtle signs such as pressure, heaviness, or discomfort in the chest. Pain may radiate to the left arm, jaw, back, or upper stomach area. Some people only feel unusual fatigue, mild shortness of breath, cold sweats, or nausea. In women, older adults, and people with diabetes, symptoms can be vague and easily mistaken for indigestion or exhaustion. Time is critical. Within the first 30 minutes of an artery being blocked, heart cells begin to die. The longer emergency care is delayed, the greater the area of damage and the higher the risk of death. Many fatal heart attacks occur within the first 1 to 2 hours because the warning signs were not recognized or because patients and families hesitated to call for help. Another alarming fact is that hundreds of thousands of Americans each year experience silent heart attacks without realizing it. They may not feel pain, yet damage still occurs inside the heart. These cases are often discovered only later during tests or imaging done for another reason. This silent damage significantly increases the risk of future heart attacks and sudden death because the heart muscle has already been weakened. There are clear risk factors you should keep in mind. These include family history of heart disease, smoking, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, type 2 diabetes, obesity, a sedentary lifestyle, and chronic stress. If you fall into one of these groups, you must pay special attention to even the smallest unusual symptoms. Preventing a heart attack is not just the job of hospitals. It is your daily responsibility. From eating habits, physical activity, and stress management to getting adequate sleep, every choice matters. Most importantly, never ignore warning signs, no matter how minor they seem. If you suspect something is wrong, calling emergency services immediately could be the decision that saves your life or the life of someone you love. A stroke, also called a cerebrovascular accident, happens when the brain suddenly loses its blood supply due to a blocked or ruptured blood vessel. When blood flow is cut off, brain cells in that region begin to die within minutes. The consequences can be devastating: paralysis on one side of the body, loss of speech, memory decline, or even death. There are two main types of stroke: ischemic stroke, which accounts for about 87% of all cases, and hemorrhagic stroke. Ischemic stroke occurs when a blood clot blocks a vessel in the brain. Hemorrhagic stroke occurs when a weakened blood vessel ruptures, causing bleeding inside the brain. Both are life-threatening, but hemorrhagic strokes tend to carry a higher risk of death. The underlying causes of stroke share many similarities with heart attack. Atherosclerosis, high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, cardiovascular disease, and smoking all contribute. When brain vessels narrow due to plaque buildup, or when vessel walls weaken from uncontrolled blood pressure, even a sudden surge in pressure can make a vessel rupture, flooding the brain tissue with blood and destroying vital areas. Recognizing symptoms early is critical. The FAST rule can save lives: face, arm, speech, time. If one side of the face droops, if an arm is weak and cannot be lifted, if speech is slurred or unclear, then time is everything. Each passing minute kills millions of brain cells. Calling emergency services immediately is the only way to prevent permanent disability or death. But strokes are not always dramatic. Silent strokes also occur. A person may feel dizzy, lose balance, or experience brief memory lapses, then return to normal. In reality, small portions of the brain have been damaged. These minor events, known as transient ischemic attacks, TIAs, are serious warnings of a much larger stroke in the future. If you have ever experienced a TIA, thorough medical evaluation and immediate lifestyle changes are essential. High blood pressure is one of the most important factors in stroke. Often called the silent killer, it causes no pain, yet it relentlessly strains blood vessels, making them thin and fragile until they burst. Controlling blood pressure is therefore one of the most effective steps in preventing stroke. The key difference between a heart attack and a stroke lies in the organ affected. A heart attack damages the heart muscle, while a stroke damages the brain, the control center of every function in your body. Once brain tissue dies, the loss can be permanent, robbing you of speech, movement, or independence. That is why every second counts when symptoms appear. No one expects a stroke, but you can prepare to prevent it. Reducing salt, monitoring blood pressure regularly, staying active, getting adequate sleep, eating wisely, and keeping arteries clear are steps you can begin today. It is never too late to protect your brain and safeguard your independence. Comprehensive lifestyle prevention strategies. No medication is as powerful as prevention. For both heart attack and stroke, the majority of the risk comes from how we live day by day. The good news is that you can dramatically lower this risk through simple, consistent changes starting today. Nutrition first. Cutting down on refined sugar, fried foods, industrial oils, white flour, sodas, and packaged products is essential. These foods fuel chronic inflammation inside your arteries, raise bad cholesterol, and disrupt blood sugar balance. Instead, build your meals around heart-protective foods like dark leafy greens, berries, walnuts, salmon, extra virgin olive oil, and whole grains. Increasing fiber helps block cholesterol absorption and stabilizes blood sugar. Move your body. You don't need a gym membership or marathons to get healthier. Just brisk walking for 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week, significantly reduces your risk of heart attack and stroke. Physical activity improves circulation, lowers blood pressure, raises HDL, the good cholesterol, controls weight, and boosts mood. If you've been inactive for years, start small but stay consistent. Any movement is better than sitting still. Protect your sleep. Poor sleep over time increases oxidative stress, disrupts hormones, and raises the risk of arrhythmia, high blood pressure, and diabetes. Older adults should aim for 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep each night. Avoid caffeine after 2 p.m., limit blue light exposure before bed, and keep your bedroom quiet, dark, and cool. Manage stress wisely. Chronic stress doesn't just strain your mind, it narrows arteries, spikes blood pressure, speeds up heart rate, and disrupts heart rhythm. Practice deep breathing, gentle yoga, meditation, gardening, music, or daily walks outdoors to calm your nervous system. Social connection matters too.
People who are isolated or lonely face much higher risks of heart attack and stroke. Quit smoking completely. This single step has the most immediate impact on your arteries. Smoking damages the inner lining of blood vessels, encourages clot formation, and reduces oxygen delivery. Even if you've smoked for decades, quitting lowers your heart attack risk within months and keeps improving over time. Monitor your health numbers. After age 60, regular checkups are vital. Track your blood pressure, fasting blood sugar, total cholesterol, HDL, LDL, and triglycerides. Early detection means early correction. If your doctor prescribes medication, take it as directed, but always pair it with lifestyle change for lasting results. Build a strong morning routine. A warm glass of water with the protective formula discussed earlier can give your heart a healthy start. Add light stretches, a 10-minute walk, and a low-sugar breakfast, and you've set the tone for long-term wellness. Living healthy doesn't mean eliminating every disease, but it does mean stacking the odds in your favor. It means preserving independence, mobility, and quality of life. You don't need to change everything overnight, but you must start today. Each meal, each step, and each choice is a vote you cast for the strength of your heart and the vitality of your brain.
If you've watched this far, it means you truly care about your heart and brain health, and that is something to be proud of. The reality is that most heart attacks and strokes strike people who thought they were just fine. They felt nothing until it was too late. But you are different because you've chosen to take action before the crisis. We cannot turn back time. We cannot erase years of stress, fast food, poor sleep, or smoking. But we can change direction starting right now. And here's the miracle. Your body is always ready to heal if you give it the chance. Just one glass of water each morning, one healthier meal, one short walk, one night of deep sleep, one routine blood pressure check. Small steps, but with powerful long-term impact. Don't wait until you're rushed to the emergency room. Don't wait until one side of your body won't move or your chest tightens so much you can't breathe. Act today, not out of fear, but because you still have loved ones, dreams unfulfilled, journeys to take, and memories yet to be made. Watch this video again if you need to. Share it with family and friends who may be silently living with the same risks without knowing it. A small action from you today could be the reason someone you love enjoys many more healthy years. Health is not a matter of luck, it is a matter of choice. And that choice begins with you, right now. Protect your heart and your brain as if you're protecting the most precious thing in your life, because that's exactly what you're doing. If you found the knowledge in this video helpful, subscribe to the channel now so you won't miss future content on heart health, stroke prevention, nutrition, and healthy living after 60. This channel was created not to sell anything, but to deliver real value and evidence-based medical information so you can live longer, live stronger, and live better. Hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, because sometimes one video at the right time can change an entire life.